along. It was never about that money. It was about the disrespect. Listen to what Stephen A. had to say on Tuesday.
What idiot out there would possibly think this is football? This is not about football. This is about the way that the Green Bay Packers have treated their star player. They have disregarded him. They have dismissed him. They have minimized him. They've disrespected him. And he said, bump y'all. Enough's enough.
Okay. So in case you didn't believe Stephen A., maybe this is going to sway you. This is a tweet from Shailene Woodley. That would be Aaron Rodgers' fiance, retweeting that take from our very own Stephen A. Smith. Kimberly, I'm going to come to you here. You know, Kimberly, we're both married. There's a thing. It's called pillow talk. Tell me this. Is Rodgers being disrespected as his fiance co-signed?
Oh, 100%. I thought we were all in agreement about this. That's why we're here. This is Aaron Rodgers is that person in a relationship that feels like they've been done wrong, and they're basically like, I'm done with you. Now, I sign that paper, and unfortunately, their partner does not want to pick up a pen and sign those divorce papers. He has completely been disrespected. And I think what makes it worse is what we saw Tom Brady go to. Tom Brady went to Tampa. Tom Brady went to, you know, it was almost like death row and Suge Knight. Like, come down to Tampa. You want a coach that's going to love you, that's going to be like, make it all about you, give you what you want. Come down to Tampa Bay. And Aaron saw that. He saw how different it was. Tom felt how, look at Tom. Tom is a new man with Bruce Arians' love behind him. He is a new man. And Aaron Rodgers is trying to be a new man away from Brian Gutekunst and everybody in Green Bay. Unfortunately, Green Bay is trying to hold on to him like that lover that's like, baby, please, I'm sorry. But the shame of it is that what Aaron Rodgers wanted is what most great quarterbacks in the league want, like a Russell Wilson, a Tom Brady. They want to feel like they are part of the discussions, that they are consulted. You understand, players can't make decisions, but at the same time, they want to have input. You're signing this guy, my top receiver that I love, or you're going to take a quarterback when I'm still here and I'm trying to play 5 more years. So 100% he's been disrespected, and I love the petty because he should be all up in his feelings right now. I get it.
Listen, for me, the same thing make you laugh, make you cry, right? And I don't think when the Green Bay Packers picked Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they were in the market for a quarterback when they had Brett Favre under center, right? But what happens is sometimes
Brett Favre was talking about retirement, Bart.
Yes, he was. And sometimes things happen, right? Like a young quarterback slips, right? So listen, we all go through this as a quarterback, as an NFL player. And I understand it's a little bit different with the quarterback. And maybe they should have tried to speed dial him and say, hey, listen, this player's fallen. We still believe in you, but he's fallen. His value's too great here. But, Aaron Rodgers has to get out his feelings a little bit because everybody out there that wants to do what Tom Brady has done has to see how Tom Brady has got it done. I think a lot of times we don't really mention why Tom Brady can go down to Tampa, why Tom Brady can say, hey, I want Gronk. Hey, but we already have OJ the Juice Man and we got Cameron Brate. Why he can say, hey, I want Antonio Brown, and it doesn't matter. We already have Mike Evans and we already have great receivers, but I want it. It's because he leaves some cheese for the taco, right? We talk about all these quarterbacks that want to go out and say, let me pick these players, but they taking the top, all the money. When was Tom Brady ever the highest paid quarterback in the league? Well, Aaron Rodgers has been, right? And to say that, he should have, the opportunity to buy some of the groceries, that's one thing. I think if anything, he should be pissed that the fact they went and got Thunder Thighs, A.J. Dillon, instead of maybe getting him a second round receiver to help him out, especially when he already had Aaron Jones. But this whole notion and narrative that they've done him wrong, listen, everybody goes through this. We talk
what about drafting Jordan Love?
Well, I think the value was just too good, right, Molly, right? He's sitting there, and eventually you were going to have that bridge quarterback. Now, they knew that Aaron Rodgers could still play at a high level, but they knew his cap dollars was getting high. At some point, you always have to say goodbye. And what they've done in their history is they've always been 1 year too early instead of 1 year too late, right? I want to say the two organizations that probably have had the most stability at the quarterback position has been the Colts and it has been the Green Bay Packers. It's because they were early when they saw the end coming to their superstar and they took advantage of it.
I understand being early, and I understand what happened with Brett Favre and all of that, but he needed help. He needed weapons, Aaron Rodgers, and he was ready to go. So that's why I feel like the timing wasn't fair in that case scenario to bring in a quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, the quarterback, you're trying to get stability for the next 20 years. If Aaron Rodgers was able to play 3 years and you think most quarterbacks play 15 years, now you have stability at the position, and you got it when you still had a great roster. So sometimes it's just a luxury pick. And sometimes guys make luxury picks. They just look what happened with well, I don't want to compare RG3 and Kirk Cousins. I mean, I think that would be a bit disrespectful. Yeah. But I think they should have had a little bit more, communication. Aaron Rodgers wants out, but I don't think – I think it's only going to get worse, though, Molly, too. When you look at the contract situation, everybody thinks that they guaranteed him 5 years.
Yeah.
That's not 5 years. That's funny money. That's just a way to add years to the deal so they can prorate it, so they can sign Devontae Adams. I think Green Bay should be concerned because maybe they not only lose, Aaron, but they lose potentially Devontae Adams, and they don't have any receivers under contract on their roster for next year.
Kimberly, that's really interesting to me just from the simple fact. I think Bart's the first person we've had on here of late that's defending the Packers more so than Aaron Rodgers.
So here's my thing. I had to switch out my AirPods because I gotta come at Bart real quick.
Are you
my
good
AirPods
now?
are dying. I had
You're
to switch up.
Don't be putting no Vaseline on your face. You better put no Vaseline on your face.
Because don't let me take off my earrings, Bart, because here we go.
No.
Look, the reality is, yes, he was disrespected. The reality is that, with this franchise, they miscalculated badly. They miscalculated how many years Aaron Rodgers was going to play at MVP level. So what did he do? He was an MVP last year with Jordan Love sitting on the bench. Now Aaron Rodgers is like, okay, well, you like that guy, let me go. Green Bay doesn't want to let him go. Green Bay's like, oh, wait. MVP, no, we want you. We want you on our timeline. And that's the thing. It's sort of like I get the business aspect. I get feelings and business, and you got to keep them separate. But at the same time, when you have, Bart, we understand, we've seen bad quarterbacks. Okay? We know that when you have a Hall of Fame type quarterback, you don't handle him the same way like you handle other guys. It is different because you are blessed to have this guy in the first place. You found him, you drafted him, now keep him in the system. And they thought he was going to get 1 or 2 years left. They thought he had like a couple years left. And Aaron said, no, I'm trying to play 5. I'm trying to keep that kid on the bench for several more years. So if Green Bay really believes in Jordan Love, they could have traded Aaron Rodgers this year. There are plenty of teams that would have taken Aaron Rodgers, but they want to hold on to him. They want to hold on to him until they're ready to get rid of him. And Aaron Rodgers is sort of like, wait now, do you love me? Or you just love me right now? Like, what's the commitment here? Because he's already out the way he's been treated, he's out the door.
Yeah, but I mean, really what he could do if he really wanted to, tell us what you want then. That's what I'm saying. Tell you what you want. And listen, it's okay to admit that you were wrong. Like, I think the Patriots admitted that they were wrong and they shipped Jimmy G out to San Francisco. I think Aaron Rodgers, if he wanted to be there, could have won this debate. You can't get much for Jordan Love because nobody's seen him. But they could have got rid of him. They could have let the kid stay around, maybe look good in the preseason. But if you want to go, then say you want to go. Like, we heard Dame Lillard come out and address the issue. Like, we can't get a straight answer from Aaron Rodgers.
You don't think he's made it clear that he wants to go?
But we can't get a straight answer. I mean, you got to burn the bridge, right? Deshaun Watson had to burn the bridge, right, to start the conversation forward. So come on and burn the bridge. Say, I don't want to be here. There's nothing that we can do to reconcile. Let me go. And this is how we can go.
I thought he did that behind closed doors. It's just that his hands are tied due to the contract.
No. He got to go full Tropic Thunder, Molly. He got to come out and tell everybody. Okay. He got to tell everybody. He got to screen him from the mountaintop.
Kimberly, to that you say what?
You gotta play it a little. Got to be real careful with it, though, because you also have legacy in mind. You don't want, like, I get, just burn it all down, put that match and walk out the room. I get that. However, Aaron Rodgers is smart. He's savvy. He's trying to play the political game too. It's the organization. Like, the longer we talk about this, the worse Green Bay looks. The longer he stays away, the worse Green Bay looks because they have a future Hall of Fame quarterback under contract who doesn't want to be there. So he can't just, I think he also has to be very cognizant of how quickly it could turn to him being the guy that's been disrespected, to fans getting frustrated and saying, you know what? Do you not want to be here? Is it really them or is it you? And I think that's why he's sort of trying to play it down the middle and saying just enough without saying, I hate you all, get me out of here.
Well, you got to find common ground, and the common ground may be, hey, Aaron Rodgers, we trade you this year. We're going to get future draft picks that we can't use and pick the next year, and players that we can't utilize the next year. So how about you come play here, and we'll let you go, and we'll trade you to your destination, but give us one more year. And if you can't do that, then write us a check for $33 million because we already put a lot of cheese on your taco, and you ain't going to eat it unless you're going to come back and play for us.
Now you want them to come to Aaron Rodgers and talk about draft picks like, hey, man, if we take draft picks, like, we can't really use it. When they had draft picks,
so I'm going to trade you and watch you go be happy and be successful.
There were 7 or 8 drafts in a row where Green Bay took defensive guys. 7 or 8 until
that's because they couldn't stop
Jordan
a nosebleed. That's why they were losing, not because the offense wasn't putting up numbers. And finally, went out and got away and spent money in free agents, something that Green Bay never does. They usually only pay their homegrown players. They went out and got Preston Smith, Za'Darius Smith. They went out and got him help so he wouldn't have to do everything because, hey, maybe he gets some field position. He's on a short field, and he doesn't have to put up, 4,000, 5,000 yards. Went out and got him a great running back that he can go and be a compliment so he doesn't have to put himself at harm's way because it was a couple of years in a row where Aaron Rodgers was getting hurt and not finishing the season. I'm going to drop it.
You're just mad because you're not a quarterback, Bart. That's the problem.
Yeah, listen. I'm mad because I'm out here balling on the budget, man. Give me some of that money. I play.
A certain way. Yeah. I mean, it's a business, right? That's the business.
Let me get my tiny violin. You played how many years in the NFL? Now you're on television. You're just
11,
all right.
11.
All right, when we come back, Laker Nation, stand up. LA has their eyes set on a point guard. Apparently, Russ